Emily, how are you? Good. Good. Thank you for joining me today online. I know we got a couple in. Hello. Go ahead. All right, I'm just going to crack the door so we can go ahead and get started here because I'm a little tight for time today. I don't know about you guys, but we're gonna we're gonna try and roll through everything real quick. So, really, what we're doing is just taking a deeper dive into KWB resources. I know it's usually a small class; it really is. I know it's crazy, but usually we have a couple people trickle in, but that's okay. I'm excited to hang out with you guys. Thank you for being here. Um, so what we're going to do is just take a quick dive into kwbresources.com. So that way, hello, that way we know a little bit more about where your resources are. So I am going to try my best to get you guys in and out by 2 o'clock because I am also processing checks for Lynn today. So I got to get back to my desk. So while we're looking at KWB resources, and Emily, you can see my screen, right? Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure because I was like, I'm pretty sure everything should be working properly, but just in case. So while we're looking at kwbresources.com, guys, any of you in person, you're welcome obviously to have your laptops out and follow along. But if you'd rather just sit back and watch, that's totally fine. And then any questions that you guys have as we go through, feel free to ask me as it comes up. So that way you don't feel like you have to remember it by the end. But we're going to go ahead and get started with this new agent button here on the home page. When we click on new agent button, it's really just going to pull a lot of helpful information into one spot for you guys as our newer agents in the office. I will tell you that there's multiple ways to get to the same information on this site. So just bear with me because I'm going to try to show you the easiest way to get to everything. But for starters, we'll look at this new agent button. On the very left-hand side under getting started, if you select learn more, it actually is going to outline the onboarding process here. So you guys have a little bit more information about that, but I know everybody is all the way through the onboarding process, so congratulations, guys. You did all the heavy lifting already. Underneath, hello. Underneath, there are some things that we can begin doing immediately, though. So for those of us who are fully on board, some of those things include obviously browsing the website, which we'll do together today, checking the office calendar, which we've done so far and we'll do a little bit more of today, joining Ignite, which I know a lot of you guys have done, so congratulations. I hope you really enjoyed the program. And for those of you who did not graduate, I hope you guys are looking forward to when we bring it back in September because we're going to have lots of great instructors lined up for that too. And then we also are going to talk about a couple key Facebook pages to join if you're not already part of them, and then attending office meetings, which clearly you guys are already doing a great job of. So thank you so much. I will take us right back to where we were. And I will tell you guys, as you can probably tell, I talk really fast. I go very fast. I don't mean to. It's just part of who I am. So if at any point I am going too quickly, please just raise your hand, let me know so I can go back to something or slow down a bit. But if you guys are up for the ride, let's go ahead and dive in. So the next section is actually under basic training here. If you guys select learn more, this takes you to the Scott Leroy Marketing website. So Scott Leroy Marketing, as you guys know, is a fantastic third-party consultant that we work with. They set up all of your KW technology, so you guys already have all of that information shared with you. If you do not know what I'm referring to as your tech setup with your email address and all the things, please shoot me an email because I'll make sure you have a copy of that information. But otherwise, while we're looking at the Scott Leroy website, I try to point out just a few items because we happen to land right here where that search bar is located. So know that you guys could always search keywords on their website to pull to specific information. One of my favorite things to point out is that you guys can do free QR codes through Scott Leroy Marketing. So if you've never made a QR code before and you really want to, you actually can just search QR code right there. A little form will appear that allows you guys to plug in information about you, how they can get this information sent to you, and where you're trying to tie that QR code back. And they'll send that stuff back to you guys usually within the hour. So if you need a QR code, don't know how to make one, Scott Leroy is a great choice. The other thing I want to mention is actually going to be under agent resources. You'll notice that it actually is not going to show us the drop down menu just yet. It's because they want to know who you are, what market center you're with, so they can actually get you all the resources that you have access to. So when you are asked for your market center number, the number is 350. So go ahead and type in 350. and you'll see that number over and over and over again here. But once you have typed in that number, you'll notice that now at the top, this agent resources is officially a drop down menu because it recognizes their partnership with Keller Williams Ballantine. So you guys have access to different resources unique to you through your partnership with us. One thing I will always share is that they have a training calendar for Scott Leroy Marketing. So if you guys visit the training section and then navigate over to training calendar, please know that Scott Leroy Marketing is offering live tech trainings from 1 to 2 o'clock, Monday through Friday. And they're changing the different topics that they're discussing with you guys. So if you are looking for something specific and you're kind of looking at Jules and Leah's schedule, you're looking at Jenna's schedule, and you're just realizing like, okay, they're not talking about Facebook ads, but I have a listing that's going soon, and I really, really want to make sure I have a Facebook ad that's ready to go. You guys can always cross reference with what Scott Leroy Marketing is doing. So that way, if they are offering that training sometime sooner that is more timely for you, go ahead and jump right on. It's free for you guys to attend. So please do dive into all the different trainings they have. They also have great command overview classes. So just different things to help familiarize yourselves with the KW technology. And you guys can always jump into those classes. I always like to mention this as well because I know sometimes that if we have a slightly more complex schedule, maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's a little difficult to jump into those training sessions, in which case we want you guys to know that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you have some additional options as well. They've actually got an upcoming DocuSign intro course as well. So just keep this in mind as you guys are looking for additional tech training. It's super simple to click on it, find the topic, and then join that class. They'll also post a lot of their recorded trainings as well, so you guys can find pre-existing training opportunities. So know that depending on what you're looking for, you can find trainings already that have been held, and you can just watch the video. The other piece that I always point out is actually right here under marketing support. I'm not going to do a really deep dive, so I want each of you guys as your homework, like do a deep dive into the marketing support that's offered through Scott Leroy Marketing, because they can do so much for you guys as kind of concierge services that's completely free. So if you guys have a listing coming up and you need some marketing materials to be done for your listing, you can actually share that information with the Scott Leroy team. And as long as you give them enough notice, they can get that information back to you in 24 to 48 hours, all customly done. So just keep that in mind as you guys are getting some of that stuff moving in your business. And we want to have some additional support with the concierge marketing. Scott Leroy will offer tons of different things for you guys for free. So please take a deeper dive this weekend and just figure out what they can help you with so that you know exactly what you can use them for. The other piece that I mentioned while we are on this website, before we jump back to KWB resources, it's actually going to be over here under store. If you guys just click right on the store option on the far right here, what will happen is it will take us to agentstore.com. Agentstore.com is one that I always recommend for you guys when you're ordering business cards because they offer a fantastic price point and some pre-done templates for Keller Williams that make it really, really easy to order your own business cards, because unfortunately, as many of you have probably found out, it is not part of your onboarding process. So you are responsible for ordering your business cards yourself. So we want to make sure that that card design is what you want it to be. There's about 32 different template options, I think, for Keller Williams available to you guys through agentstore.com. Of course, you can always go the route of doing Canva, Vistaprint, something that's really unique to you and your business if you want it to stand out. And no matter which one you choose, Agent Store or a different third party, make sure that you are consulting with Tasha Viney before ordering your business card so she can approve the business card design. Especially provisional brokers, you are required to get approval on that. So make sure that they take a look. If you guys are broker status, I know that gives you a little bit more leeway, but provisional brokers, you will be required to get Tasha's approval on your business card design. And Tasha's contact information will go over here shortly. And know that her office is actually in the back hallway down here. So she's always available for you guys to either shoot her a quick text to ask for the approval, or the 3 days that she's in the office, you could pop by and have her take a look at your design. But the reason we do that is not to inconvenience you. It's because we do not want anyone to get in legal trouble over their business cards. And we certainly don't want you guys to have paid for something you find out later you cannot use. That would suck. So we're going to avoid that. There's going to be a couple other options as well for things you can order through Agent Store. You guys can get name tags. There's different kind of swag that you can order for your business. So know that there's plenty other things that you can do through agentstore.com. There's even some great packages as as well for you guys to get started. So know that this is a great resource for you and one I will always encourage you to look at when ordering your business cards. But again, you're not limited to Agent Store. Below, when we're hopping back over to our new agent screen, we're going to scroll a little bit lower and look at some Facebook pages. Most everybody in this room, I believe, is already part of our private Facebook group for just KW Ballantyne. This is a link that I send to you guys in a welcome email. It's got some balloons on it, so it stands out. I actually put the balloons specifically so I can tell you that's where the Facebook link is. Although I am still very excited for you guys. The balloons are necessary. So when you guys are looking to have some conversation with other agents, especially as you can tell, not all 500 of us are crammed into this room right now. So not everybody's in the office all the time. It's kind of the beauty of what you guys do. So if you're ever wanting to reach out to other agents, maybe you've got a question, or maybe you're looking for, like, does anyone have a referral partner out in Scottsdale, Arizona? Like, I've got somebody moving that way. You guys can ask questions like that, and agents in this office are so quick to collaborate and help. You'll see that firsthand right on the Facebook page. They will be screenshotting contacts directly out of their phone and putting them right in the comment section of your post. So if you're looking for that, if maybe you guys are ready to hold your own open house and you're just looking for somebody who's got a listing and they need a host, you guys can also be scouring the page, because there are always posts for people looking for showing assistants, for open house hosts, and that way you guys can really get your foot in the door early on. Same thing is true for when you guys have your own listings. You guys can ask for assistance with the open houses or showings for your buyer clients. And you guys can always find lots of support there right on the Facebook group. In addition to that, I'm always on there talking about all the upcoming events and trainings. So I promise you it will be very hard not to know what's going on in this office. You'd have to like actively avoid looking at all the things that I'm sharing about what's happening. So hopefully you guys are able to participate in all the fun and excitement that we have going on in this market center. Below our private Facebook group, and that first one is just our agents and our leadership team. It is just us and our leadership team. The next page down is actually going to be a private Facebook group for our vendor partners. So it's going to be our vendor partners, our agents, and our leadership team members. So if you guys are looking to get connected with some fantastic vendors, especially being new in the industry, sometimes you don't have somebody you already know in home inspection, for example, and you're like, ooh, who's somebody good that I could use? You guys can hop onto that Facebook group. Our vendors are part of the page, and they're sharing on that page about different promotions they're offering, different products and services that they're newly offering. So there's tons of ways for you guys to be in the know about what our vendor partners have to help you and your clients. And then you guys can get in contact with them as well, just by simply reaching out to them either through the Facebook page or grabbing their contact information off of it. On that same Facebook group, there's also the great magnifying glass like search option. So you guys could always search plumber or electrician, and it will pull up multiple vendors in that industry so that you could easily grab multiple quotes for your clients. So know that that is a fantastic Facebook page to join, in addition to our personal internal Facebook page for this office, because in Ballantyne, we do have our own vendor program. And in order to be part of that vendor program, these individuals have to be vetted by another Keller Williams Ballantyne agent, meaning that they've already worked with agents in this office and they offer a great product or service that your clients can appreciate as well. Below that, we have two other Facebook groups. These are optional, of course, for you guys to join. Definitely would recommend. The Charlotte Area Realtor Network obviously will connect you with local real estate agents in Charlotte, not exclusive to KW. But below that, we have our KW Carolinas Region Facebook group. That is going to be all of the KW offices in North and South Carolina, all collectively on one page. So that way you guys can communicate with other agents in the region. You guys can also be aware of upcoming training opportunities that are offered on a regional level. So they're going to offer additional trainings on top of what are offered through our specific training calendar here at Ballantyne. So if you guys were looking for, maybe you wanted to take the career visioning series, which will help you guys understand how to hire and build out your team. So if you're looking for stuff like that one day, you guys could register for career visioning. And a lot of times, because it's the Carolinas, like it might be held at the beach one day. So you guys could just do a little write-off trip to the beach, which is never bad. You guys could get a lot of great education. So keep that in mind. The Carolinas region is offering tons of fantastic trainings on top of what we do so that you guys can be part of the action. In addition to that, guys, you know that you'll have the opportunity to meet with other agents in the region and make connections with them. Because again, if you don't have MLS access out at the beach, but you've got a client that's looking to get a vacation property, it may be wise to have a referral partner already out there. And we know sometimes our agents prefer to work with other Keller Williams agents because they know that they've got really solid training. So just be aware that that's another Facebook group you guys can partake in. We'll go a little bit further. We do arrive at what's called Kellerisms. I'm not going to click on that one today, but if you did click on it, it will actually open up into a PDF handout that will walk you guys through all of the verbiage that you're hearing in the Keller Williams office here, because we know that usually when you guys get started, you do have an idea of what capping is, what it means. But when you hear like 145, a little harder to figure out what that one means just from like the name itself. So if you're hearing different terminology in this office that you're like, I know that does not exist outside these doors, and you want to learn a little bit more about it, the Kellerisms handout will actually break down all of that terminology and put it into real world terms so that you have a better understanding of what you're hearing in the office. One of the great things about our culture, guys, is we built up our own language. So underneath that, we are coming across just some different information in terms of, again, helpful resources. This one is called answers.kw.com. I actually spoke with every single one of you about that when we met together, because answers.kw.com is going to be a fantastic website that you guys can reference. It's actually a knowledge base that's built up of helpful articles about command. So if you guys are ever looking, you have some questions, or you're doing something for the first time in command, you're welcome to go to that website, search keywords, and helpful articles will appear that are related to that topic. So that way, again, depending on what hour you may be working on command, it's just an easier way to get some great answers, especially if it's outside of business hours, right? We don't want you guys to have to wait till the next day to get some answers. There's also a sister site to this called ideas.kw.com in case you guys are working in command and you've got some feedback you'd like to provide, good or bad. You can give a little bit of both, for different things that you love about the platform, different things you'd like to see improved on the platform. We want to make sure that Command is your preferred CRM, that it is the best thing out there, user friendly, efficient, and making your lives easier as a business owner. So do be aware that ideas.kw.com is built up entirely for your feedback, so that as they're unveiling new updates for the system, you may see some of those ideas come to life one day, which is really cool. I know a lot of you, again, have participated in Ignite already, but if you need those materials at all, you can download the digital materials right here. And then we do arrive at a way for us to access the training calendar. As I said, guys, there's really a lot of ways to get to the same information. This one involved a lot of scrolling, a lot of clicking. Let's just simplify it. We'll do something different in a minute here. We're not going to dive in just yet to the training calendar. But at the bottom, for those of us who are going to book a conference room for the very first time to use, you are welcome to do so. You'll just need to hit this register button. What it'll do is it will take you to our third-party site where we actually do the bookings for our conference rooms, and it will allow you guys to create a quick login so that you can access that spreadsheet. We have 5 different conference rooms right here in the office and 2 focus rooms. Our 5 conference rooms all have varying capacities and how many people they hold. So if you're meeting with clients, meeting with other agents, and trying to collaborate on anything, or if you're sitting down with your coach, you guys are welcome to use our conference rooms for those occasions, because we want you guys to have communal conversation, things like that, right there in those rooms. If you're looking for an independent workspace just so you can shut the door and have either a private phone call, or maybe really crunch down on your lead gen because you're getting distracted out there in the hub, you are welcome to book focus rooms as well. They are actually right outside this back door here, and they are going to be single desk office spaces so that you guys can use those or the conference rooms for 2 hours at a time any day of the week. So we do limit you guys to the 2 hour window only because we want to make sure those resources are on rotation for other agents, but they are available to you guys to use for free, and we'd love to see you take advantage of them. So know that that is exactly how you'll go about booking those conference rooms. First, you will register on the site, and then you'll be able to access the page where it will detail our conference rooms by name and the capacity they hold at the top of the page. And you'll see all the time slots there on the left-hand side, and you'll just drag and drop your reservations. I will tell you, if you ever have trouble booking your reservation, I am an admin on the page. Big surprise, I know. So I will be able to go in on the back end for you, and I can support you guys. I can adjust your reservations as necessary. So let me know if I can help. We also, coming back to the homepage now, are going to do a slightly lower dive here. We're going to go a little further down the page. A lot of you guys will already have a handout very similar to this, but it's just detailing everyone on our leadership team, letting you guys know who we are, putting a face to that name, also reminding you guys what our roles are within the Market Center, as well as how you can contact us directly. So hopefully, anytime you have questions, it's very easy for you guys to identify who does what, and that way you can reach out to get an answer as quickly as possible. And okay, nobody judge. I know this bothers me as well. She is just jutted off to the left. I can't not address it because I'm like, if I don't, they're gonna think I don't see it. Um, the reality of it is, I don't know what it is about Wix, but it seems like it's very responsive to like the dimension size of your screen. So on my computer, this looks great. Every time I update the page, everything looks perfect. And then I come in here and I look like I'm blind. So forgive me. I promise you that I am not blind and it looks good on my page. And I'm super sorry if it shows like that on your laptops because that would be embarrassing. So a little bit lower, guys, we're coming across a couple helpful videos. Leah's actually put these together herself and she's posted them here because she knows that these are frequently asked questions amongst our new agents. So the bottom video actually is the one I'm going to mention first. This is how KW Command and DocuSign communicate with each other. This video will give you a 25-minute ultimate overview of the two resources and how they need to be linked properly so that your forms are populating right in there in DocuSign and then translating over to your opportunity as they should. I highly, highly, highly recommend watching that video at your convenience if you've not already done that, because it's going to make sure that everything is set up the way it needs to be so that when you guys are first sitting down with your clients and then you go into your DocuSign rooms, you're not like, oh my gosh, wait, the forms aren't here, because you're already going to have everything where you want it to be and it's going to save you a step in the long run. So avoid that frantic, stressful energy. Get ahead of the game, watch that video, set yourselves up for success now. The video above that is also done by Leah, and this is all about how to submit a commission request inside of Command. So when you guys do go under contract on a property at any given time with a client, you're going to submit commission requests through Command. That way Lynn, our MCA, is notified about this upcoming closing. She knows to be looking out for that commission check. Carla's also going to be checking your files in the background, but we want to make sure that we are allocating your commissions correctly based off of what you guys got signed. And we want to know a little bit more about the transaction itself. So when you are going to submit your your commission request for the very first time, this video is going to be extremely helpful because it's going to walk you guys through that process. So again, you guys will do these commission requests anytime you go under contract on a property. So you're welcome to, of course, watch that video now to have a little bit of prior knowledge, but then you're welcome to revisit the video when you're actually going under contract so you have more hands-on support while you're walking through that process. A little bit further, we do eventually come down to our office training calendar. Just as an FYI, of course, we have an office calendar button here at the top. That will actually pull you to this section of the page. That way you guys don't have to do all the scrolling yourselves. I know how difficult that can be. I'm just kidding. So when we are looking at this page, I don't know what it is. Recently, this has been coming up as blank. Not a big fan of that personally. However, what I will say is that the widget itself, even when it is working properly, it's very choppy and it bothers me. It's not easy to read. I'm going to be fully honest. So no matter whether it's blank or it's showing details, I would highly encourage the full calendar view right here above, because by clicking on that, guys, it's actually going to open up to our office training calendar in a much more visible way. This way you can easily see what we've got going on in the office. You know what trainings there are coming up, what special events are happening, and you guys can easily click on any one of those to get a full description regarding that class. So if you're curious, you can get the full description there. If it is something in person that we are asking for you guys to register for ahead of time, you'll always find a registration link right there in the details. If it is not something you have to register for, it usually will specify no registration necessary. If it is ever something like today that is optional through Zoom, you'll always find a Zoom link there as well. So we try to make it a one-stop shop, so no matter what you're looking at, you have easy access to details about the event, so you know if you want to plug in, and then you also know how you guys can attend or participate in that class. I will tell you that just about everything on our calendar is going to be open to all agents. So if you guys have any curiosity, any interest in the topics that you're seeing, please participate with us. It's incredibly rare you'll find anything that's invite only on the calendar. So please participate and join us for those special events. Again, guys, just an FYI, for those of us who are going to be going back through Ignite, we start again on September 2nd. So we are actually only about 3 weeks away from that. So very exciting. Hopefully we'll see you all there. The last piece that I was going to mention while we're looking at the training calendar, like I said, first and foremost, I work really, really closely with this calendar. So if y'all ever have questions, please just ask me. I can give you a lot more details, or I can explain things a little bit more thoroughly for you. But the last thing I will mention is this little add to Google Calendar button on the bottom left. If you guys really, really like this calendar, you're really into attending trainings, you want to know what's going on, but it's kind of a pain to remember that website that you have to go to and where the calendar is on the website, you guys have the option here at the bottom left to actually copy our calendar directly onto yours. So this would add our Market Center training calendar onto your Keller Williams calendar. And this way you could see everything in real time. Any changes I'm making will show up right there on your calendar. And my favorite thing about this, and the only reason I mention it, is because on the left-hand side, you guys will always have the option to hide our calendar, because there are going to be days where you're like, this is great, I've got an open afternoon, I can't wait to plug into class. And then there's going to be days where you're like, I have a doctor's appointment and I have no idea where it even is anymore because there's so much on this training calendar. So please do know that that is an option to make your life a little bit easier. You can see it when you want to, you can hide it when you don't, and it's just an easier way to access our trainings. I'm going to take us all the way back. Everyone still feel good so far? Okay, I got some nods in the room, nods online. All right, we're going to keep going. I feel like I should ask that question more often. I usually wait until the end and then I feel really bad because what if you guys like needed help 30 minutes ago? So a little bit lower, you're coming across some upcoming event information. So we do have different panels here that are just highlighting some of the recurring meetings that we have. So one of those is going to be ALC meetings. Those are going to be held on the third Tuesday of every month at 11 o'clock. In our ALC meetings, our Agent Leadership Council actually gets together right here in the training room and they collaborate. They have higher level business conversations and masterminds. So great things for you guys to observe and listen in on. And then the other really cool thing about these meetings is that when we are making bigger changes to our office here, if we were to, for example, ever change our transaction fee once you've capped, or if we were to change the cap entirely, we will make that decision. We'll talk about it as leadership. We will talk about it then with the investors of this market center and make sure that they're all on board with it. But before we actually enact it, we always consult with our ALC because they are the voices of our agents here in the office. So that way we do have your kind of opinion on things as well through the ALC, and that way we can make sure that whatever decision we are making is beneficial for you guys as the agents as well. So know that that is something that you guys are welcome to sit in on. They are in-person meetings, third Tuesday every month at 11. We just ask that if you are going to be in here, you're here strictly to observe, and you'll let the ALC hold the floor for the duration of the meeting. Our team meetings are actually held the second and fourth Tuesday of every month at 11, and those are very high energy, full room. I mean, we pack this whole training room out. It's a lot of fun to be in our team meetings. So if you have not gotten to be in one yet, please join us. They're so much fun. And we are going to bring lots of value. Next Tuesday is actually going to be our first team meeting in August. Chip Walton is going to be our special guest, and he's going to be talking all things numbers. So that way you guys have stats that sell. This is going to be the data that really drives those deals, guys. So great conversations to have and bring to your clients, because again, I know when you're new, if you don't have the experience yourself to kind of fall back on, sometimes it's nice to leverage what the Market Center has achieved and accomplished so you guys can use that in your conversations with your clients. So know the team meeting, we're going to have some great conversation. We also bring in different members of our leadership team and different conversation about upcoming events, different updates to be aware of. We celebrate our agents for their accomplishments in the previous month. We welcome our new agents as well. And then the other really cool thing about team meetings is that we invite vendor partners to it. So if you guys, again, have not yet met with a lot of the vendors, we do have several that will be stationed right out here in the hub. So as you guys leave the meeting, you can go mingle with the vendors. A lot of times they bring like treats, just a FYI. That makes it a lot better. But yeah, you guys can stop by. They'll always have goodies available, and they'd be happy to have conversations with you and start building relationships. So know that you can always meet our vendors that way. And then the last item is Tech Tuesdays. Those are going to be 1 to 2 o'clock every single Tuesday, in person and through Zoom. And they're actually going to be led by Jenna Kelly. That's a little outdated, so nobody read the fine print there. It's a little outdated. But Jenna Kelly is leading our Tech Tuesday classes. Jenna is a really reputable admin in this office who's been doing it for years, and she's really good at what she does. She knows Command and DocuSign inside and out. So she is here teaching to you guys, not necessarily the very, very beginning conversation. If you remember, there's a QR code in your new agent packets that I recommend starting with when it comes to the KW technology. But once you guys have gone through those videos, start attending Tech Tuesdays, because Jenna is going to gradually be helping you guys build on that information so that you're using Command and DocuSign at a high level and helping save you guys some time and energy. Eventually, we do get to Sabra and Tasha. Sabra Romeo is actually our BIC right here in this office. And Sabra, unfortunately, is actually not physically in the office as often. But of course, you can always reach out to her via email. You can also reach out to her over the phone. I know we have her email posted here, but if y'all ever need her phone, just let us know. But yes, you can always reach Sabra via email. She's super, super helpful. And I swear to God, she is the most gracious person I've literally ever met in my life. She is so patient and kind with you guys. So don't ever feel bad. Obviously, yes, mistakes happen. And yes, sometimes transactions go a little sideways, but Sabra is never going to make you feel bad about that. I will tell you that much. She will always like kindly and patiently walk you through the solution. And if she doesn't already know it, she will be learning alongside you guys. And she's always your biggest advocate. Tasha, on the other hand, is in the office 3 days a week. She's our big associate, so kind of Sabra's right hand. So not technically our actual BIC. So if you need something with an actual BIC, you'll probably still want to reach Sabra, especially if it's legal. But Tasha is equally knowledgeable, and she can handle all of these administrative questions, maybe not so urgent, getting your business cards approved, helping you guys out with conversations about your transaction partner. She's also super, super helpful with just different conversations that you may have, questions on your transaction. She's a great resource to have, guys. So she's in office 3 days a week. Her office hours are detailed here, and you can actually find her in the back hallway. She's got an office with a like nameplate on her door, so you know that it's her. And then I know we're not quite yet to June, so we're actually pretty far from it this time of year. But when it comes to renewing your licenses, guys, if it's your first time ever doing that process, there's some great information right here on how to check your record to make sure you're up to date on all the things so that you're not missing any CE you may need. You're also making sure you're on top of the fees that are due at that time of year. And then if you're interested at all in reciprocity, you want to get your South Carolina license, you want to get your North Carolina license, whichever you may have started with, you guys can find reciprocity information right here as well. So know that there's some great handouts here. Again, I think, don't hold me to this because I don't have a license myself, but I think the first time you guys go to renew that you will not have to do CE. I think you just have to pay your $45 in order to renew the license. And I totally could be wrong. So do your due diligence, double check me on that. Make sure you're on top of those classes. If you guys do ever need CE, we do offer CE in this office as well. We'll bring it up usually a little bit closer to that time of year because we know that a lot of people are not thinking about CE in, holiday season time frame. So know that we'll always have CE available for you. If we continue scrolling down the page, we're now introducing you guys to the current members of our ALC. Again, that's Agent Leadership Council. So this way you guys can be aware of who is currently serving on ALC, what their actual committee represents, or what committee they represent, I should say. And really these committees all have different focal points in our office. That way you guys know that, again, they're having specific conversations about these topics in the office, and they're dedicating additional time out of their busy schedules and their business to make sure that that area of development in the market center is always thriving. So that way that KW Ballantyne as a whole is always the best place to call home for you guys. So Growth Committee with Amber Byers, she's focusing on new agent growth. She's helping to grow the market center by bringing in new agents. She actually also takes lots of trips to Superior. You guys may have actually met some of our agents through your Superior visits. And if you guys are interested in building your own downline, helping to grow the market center, maybe getting in front of the next crowd of Superior students, reach out to Amber and have more conversations about it. She'd be happy to help you guys. We have Irene. She's serving the KW Cares and Culture Committee. So basically everything that makes you feel warm and fuzzy here, and all the special pieces of our culture here at Ballantyne that make us really feel like family. And KW Cares is our charitable arm as well. There is a national level or an international level of KW Cares, and they do a lot of disaster relief efforts. There is also going to be a local level of KW Cares, which is here actually just for you guys as our agent base. So if ever there's a point in your lives where you find yourselves in need, You can reach out to us if there's anything we can do. We're happy to do it. It's also a good reminder to continue to be aware of KW Cares if you guys can. If you're in a position to, we'd love for you to donate to KW Cares because, yes, we do have agents that are in need, and sometimes our funds run very low. So it's not that we don't want to help people. Sometimes we don't have the ability to. So if you guys continue to donate and build that up and have conversations around it, then we will always have great funds available to help other agents right here in this market center. We have Lindsay Peg. She is Lindsay Peg Fox. So sorry. She's currently serving on our social committee. So all the fun events that we do, if you guys came to Family Fun Day, that was going to be Lindsay's event. So all the different social hours and things like that that we're putting together, Lindsay's at the heart of a lot of that planning. Jessica Pegram is also serving on ALC, and she is going to be focusing on capper growth. So she's focusing on helping to grow the market center with producing agents that are already in the business elsewhere. And she's also helping you guys with scripts to help grow your downline by maybe having conversations with somebody you did a cross sale with later on. Mike Rivera is doing the Career Development Committee, which focuses on the training calendar. So he and I get together usually once a month. We talk about what's going on the calendar, talk about agent feedback, what we'd like to see on the calendar as well. So if you guys want to have any conversation around that or any of the other committees we've mentioned, you guys can actually come to their individual committee meetings during the month. You can sit down, hear the conversations that they're having. If you're really inspired and you want to be part of the committee, you can also work hand in hand with a lot of these agents. And the last one is Adam Sellers. He is currently serving financial planning committee, so helping you guys to grow your wealth and also helping to make sure that you guys are ready come tax season because we know that that's a fun one too. So he is here to make sure you guys know all things finances, learn from his mistakes as he'll tell you, and he's really excited about a lot of the progress and growth he's made in his own business this year, and he's happy to share a lot of that with you too. A little bit lower. Productivity coaches, hopefully this is a quick refresher. If you are brand new to real estate, we always have you guys enter our coaching program just so that you guys can have the ability to make the most of your first year because your coach is going to be pouring into you guys every single week to make sure that you guys know exactly what it takes to get into production. So hopefully everybody has met with their coach already or at least been assigned to the coach, especially if you're a little bit newer. If you guys have not yet been connected to your coach, you should be looking out for a phone call from Michelle Amador. If you have missed that call for any reason or you don't see a record of that call, feel free to call Michelle directly. Reach out to her and talk to her about the coaching program. Learn more about it because you'll want to make sure, of course, that you're getting assigned to a coach that you'll love, that you're going to have a great fit with, and that also is going to be one that works for your schedule. We would hate to give you a resource that is not going to be something that works for you. So your coach is here to really pour into you guys. Make sure you're making the most of your business in your first year, making sure you're understanding the activities it takes to get into production, like lead generation tactics, script practice, talking about what's going on in the market, and making sure you're really well equipped to start the business right now. The second pillar of mentorship we offer, guys, is transaction partners, and they are going to be your contracts and forms experts. So they're also meeting with you once a week, and they are going to pour into you about what the contracts and forms go over. Make sure that you guys have a thorough understanding of how to complete those documents. So again, when you're sitting with your first set of clients right there in one of our conference rooms, and you guys are about to sign some documents, you can actually walk them through what each of those documents means, how they're going to fill out the document, and you'll have a little bit more confidence knowing that Carla may not have to send you a love letter telling you that you missed a signature somewhere. But she will. She will still send you those, and she calls them love letters for a reason because she knows how much you guys actually hate seeing that come through. So she likes to say it's sent with love, guys, I promise. So always looking out for you in the background, and your transaction partners here to make sure that you guys have a strong foundation with those documents. So again, you should have received an email from me asking you what transaction partner time would work best for your schedule. If you guys have not seen that email come through, it should be in your KW email, which is also a great reminder. All future communications, unless you have specified otherwise, come back to your Keller Williams email. So please make sure you're checking that. And if you guys have not seen the email or it's honestly just buried at this point because you have so many emails, that's okay. I know that's how real estate goes. So if you guys do need me to resend that information to you, please just email me and I'd be happy to send that over to you again. A little bit lower. These are really just some helpful resources and helpful links, all of which are easily found at the top of the page. So we are going to navigate right back up there. We're now going to touch on these FAQ tab here. If you just click on FAQs, guys, All this is giving you some frequently asked questions, and it's going to allow you guys to hover over the tile with your mouse. It will tell you who on leadership handles that particular responsibility or task. So if you have a question for the very first time and it's like, oh my gosh, I have a question about my agent bill, like how does that work? You can actually hover right over and you'll find that Lynn Davis is the one who works with your agent bills. So she would be the best person to be in contact with. I know though that even though we have 10 tiles here, there is no way we're covering all of your questions. So if you guys have a question that you really don't see anything similar to on this page, please do send that over to me, because if I am not the best person to answer the question, I'll make sure I'm at least connecting you with the next best person so that we can get you guys some answers. The next tab that I talk about is on-demand training. When we click on this tab, guys, you're going to see that it's actually password protected. So the password for this page, I apologize because I think that easel is going to be blocking you guys from seeing. It's almost identical to our Wi-Fi password. So it's going to be a capital B, lowercase a, m, c, 350. There is no exclamation point, but otherwise it looks just like the Wi-Fi password. And all of you guys should have the Wi-Fi password in that new agent packet I gave you. If you got one of like the newer versions that I just put together, I put the website password in there too to make it easy. But while we're looking at on-demand training, on the left-hand side of this page, guys, if you were to select on-demand, this will take you to our Keller Williams Ballantyne YouTube channel. So if you guys ever realize that you missed out on a training opportunity, maybe your schedule just doesn't make it really possible for you to attend something specific, or maybe you weren't feeling well one day and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I miss at that team meeting? Like, I really wanted to hear what Chip had to say. If you guys ever find yourselves in that position, we do keep a YouTube channel where we are uploading recordings from those recurring trainings right here so that you guys can always go back to reference the information. You will see at the bottom there are playlists that have been organized. These playlists are going to tell you exactly what kind of trainings end up on this page, because it is not going to be every single training that we offer. It's going to be those recurring meetings that we have. That way, you guys can obviously build a strong foundation. And two, if ever there's a change with command or a change at all with a different process here in the office, you guys will always find it right here, the updated information as a recording on our page. So be aware that this is here to help you guys in the event that you cannot make it to a training, but I will strongly encourage you guys to participate in trainings live as often as you can, whether it's in person or online. It's not to inconvenience you, and it's certainly not to add something else to your schedules. It's only because we really think that there's so much value in being able to ask your questions as you're learning this information versus having to jot down a list of questions and then hope that you run into the right person tomorrow to ask those questions too. So we want you to have full clarity and really feel like you walked away learning something, which is why we encourage the live participation. But of course, if you're not feeling well, we'd much rather you guys take care of yourselves and then hop on this channel and you'll be able to find a lot of those recorded videos later. The other thing I will mention is that occasionally YouTube will fight me on the recordings that I'm trying to publish here, especially our Tech Tuesdays for some reason. Tech Tuesdays and marketing classes, they really reject those a lot because oftentimes they're making fake contacts in class to show you guys. So when I try to upload it to YouTube, YouTube will tell me, hey, you're sharing personal information. We can't publish this video, which unfortunately it's not true. And I can't tell them like, well, it's not a real person. So a lot of times when YouTube rejects my videos, I still have access to them. So if you're looking for something specific on here and you cannot find it, always feel like you can shoot me an email, because a lot of times I can still get you that recording. I just couldn't post it to the YouTube channel for some reason. Very similar, and one I already have introduced you guys to very briefly. On the right hand side, if you click Command on Demand, this is going to take you to the Scott Leroy Marketing YouTube channel. So over 1,000 videos, guys, dedicated specifically to your KW technology. So as you're using Command, using DocuSign, using the website, wanting to build on that, there are so many fantastic videos right here on the page, on their page, and they have videos that are just a couple minutes long, so really easy to watch, or they have full-length trainings that you guys can circle back to as well. So be aware that Scott Leroy Marketing has tons of fantastic content available to you whenever you may need it. And then underneath, we are just pinning those same videos from the homepage right here as well, and a little bit more information right there about Ignite to go with. So that is going to be our on-demand training tab. The next tab that we are going to go over is Office Resources, but before I click on that tab, I want you guys to see that we have a wonderful drop-down menu that appears here. I think that some of these items are just easier to access from the drop-down than if you were to click into the tab. So we do have our advertising guidelines. So when you guys are crafting your business card, if you guys are getting ready to do a Facebook post, you want to make sure you're in compliance, you got the things you need on there, and you have nothing that should not be on there. Reference our advertising guidelines when you're ordering your signs. Reference the advertising guidelines. That way you know that what you guys are paying to do or what you guys are actually out there posting is all good to go. It's in compliance. You have one less thing to be worried about, because that will walk you through a lot of the details that are necessary and explain explicitly what you cannot have depending on what status you are, PB or broker status. You'll find all that information there. If you have any additional questions beyond what's shared in the advertising guidelines, you can always ask Tasha or Sabra. The other thing I will mention as well, if you guys click advertising guidelines, there will be a section in there dedicated to our logo files. So if you need a logo file that says Keller Williams Ballantyne area on it, you can find lots of different versions, different color schemes available right there in our advertising guidelines section. Below that is also our KW Ballantyne phone roster. So if you guys are looking to get in touch with other agents here in the Market Center, click right on here. It will literally tell you everybody that's part of this office. It will tell you their email and their phone number as well, so you can easily contact other agents, even if you've not exchanged contact information with them yet. And just as an FYI, because this question may come up, if you are looking at our phone roster, anybody that's highlighted in yellow has an office space here. That's why they're highlighted in yellow. Somebody asked me that the other day and I was like, oh, it's just because they office here. That's usually more of like a leadership thing for us to be aware of. But in case it ever helps you guys, you might run into them in the office, who knows. Underneath our phone roster, we also have the concession request. So concession requests are something that if you guys were to alter your commissions at any point in time, because Keller Williams is technically the payee when you guys have a closing, and then we pay you afterwards as an independent contractor, anytime that you guys are adjusting your commissions for any reason, you will need to you will need to request a concession letter be issued, and that needs to be done through Tasha or Sabra. So the easiest way to go about that is click the concession request option there, and it will give you a Google form that you'll complete the fields that are required. That way they have enough information to go off of to create that letter and send it back to you as soon as possible, so that you have no hesitations or no delays in your transaction. But again, that's if you're altering your commissions at any point in time, we need to be aware of that, and it needs to be signed by Sabra or Tasha to approve that that's okay. Underneath that item, we do have our do not call list. This one I think everyone is usually familiar with after going through school, but this of course is going to go over all the people who have specifically asked not to be called by you guys, actually, because there are a select few people who do not like that. And if you accidentally call the wrong person, the unfortunate news is that you not only may be subject to thousands of dollars in fines, but you also may be subject as well to court time. So double whammy, two negatives we don't want. So I would encourage you at the highest level to dive into the do not call list here. If you have not already done that, please take a moment to do it this weekend. It's going to walk you through all the necessary steps to register for that so that you know who is on the list and you do not accidentally call them by mistake. The other two items that you're going to see here, these are both going to be a lot easier to access once we're within the tab itself. So if we click on Office Resources now that we've looked over those first few items, it's going to ask us for that same password we just used. So again, it's going to be a capital B, a lowercase a, M, C, 350, and that's going to allow us to access the page. So here we will see we've got North Carolina and South Carolina forms. What I will tell you guys right now, I'm going to click on the left-hand side for North Carolina forms because I think everybody's North Carolina licensed. So we'll click on that option there. When we are in the North Carolina form section, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is not all your state contracts and forms. It is not going to have all of that information. The state contracts and forms are going to show up in DocuSign for you, or they are going to be something you can access through Zip Forms, which is a feature through Matrix and Canopy. So if you guys are looking for KW Ballantyne specific documents, for example, a referral agreement or W-9, if you guys need to find anything about disclosures on our partnership, if you guys need coming soon information, maybe you're looking for helpful handouts about like walk in to walk to final walkthrough. What does that look like? And we also have Septic and sewer information down here. I say that specifically because Sabra is a stickler about septic and sewer. It's all to help you guys in the long run, and I want to let you know because not every firm is like that. So any of that information you can find right here. So these are forms that are unique to KW Ballantyne that you will be asked to have in your given transactions. So any North Carolina KWB specific firms you will find right here in our office resources page in this Google Drive folder. The same is true on the right-hand side for South Carolina. What I will always tell you guys, no matter where you start, if you started in DocuSign, you're looking at the forms that populate in DocuSign and you're realizing you're missing something, come back to this page here and reference the Google Drive folder. If you guys start in the Google Drive folder and you're missing something, you're going to go into your DocuSign. Between the two resources, you guys should have everything that you need. And then the final item right here up top is actually going to be Get Checklists. If you guys select that option here, it will take you to a secondary Google Drive folder. And this one is actually designed, I think you're going to love this one. It's designed by Sabra. She put all of these together for you. I know that right now you guys have not yet necessarily had your first transactions. So maybe it's not muscle memory just yet. You're still trying to figure things out. So you guys can always come in here. You can click right on any of these checklists. It will tell you if it's North or South Carolina, what side of the transaction it is. So this is going to be a North Carolina buyer's checklist. So it's going to tell you everything you are responsible for as the real estate agent, tell you if there is a timeline associated with that particular task, and then you can sit there and literally check them off so you know you have hit every single thing you were responsible for doing. Because again, those first few transactions, it's not yet muscle memory. So we want to have that added boost of confidence, that added support. This is exactly why she put these checklists together. So know that they exist right here and you can find them anywhere, or sorry, you can find all different sides of the transaction, North or South Carolina, buyer, sellers. You can find all of that right here in this wonderful folder. So be aware that they are here to help you guys. All right. Before I go to the next thing, everyone still feel good? With thumbs up, nodding along. Great, great. Yay. Okay, awesome. So underneath that, we do see CE Shop. So one of the cool things about Ballantyne is we actually partner with two different real estate education sources. One of them is going to be the CE Shop, which is online and self-paced learning. The other is actually Superior School of Real Estate. So if you guys are looking to get your post-licensing knocked out, maybe you don't necessarily want to do the Superior classes, you want that online self-paced because it just works better for your schedule. You can actually come to the CE shop. Two quick things. One is that they actually offer a free trial for self-paced learning. So if you've never done it before and you're like, ugh, this is either going to be really good or really, really bad, I don't know, you guys can actually check it out for a whole week before you commit to paying for that course. And that way, if you absolutely loved it, you can commit right then and there. And if it was like a total dumpster fire, you can walk away and there's no consequence, which is great. So after talking about the free trial, I will mention they always are running different discounts for you guys. That's available to you through our partnership, and their discounts will vary because CE Shop fluctuates. They will also do different discounts for different types of courses. So just be aware that anytime you guys are looking, always check the CE Shop because they might have a fantastic deal running. I know that it says 40% off right here, and that's going to be for licensing education for the end of the week. They're also going to do a 40% off flash sale next Wednesday, FYI. When they do sales like that, flash sales that are just one day, I always post the discount code with the actual code you need on our Facebook page, 8 a.m. the day it goes live. So that way you guys can go right to the Facebook group, find that discount, and take advantage of it all day long. And then at the very bottom here, I just want to make sure you guys know that this is going to, I look psycho for like looking at this small print. I swear it used to be up at the top. I promise you guys it was up at the top. I didn't look crazy, but here in the agent essentials under hot topics, you guys can like squint to read that. If you click on it, what's going to happen is this is actually going to open up to a library of ebooks, blogs, podcasts, videos, all different content. And the reason I share this is not only so you guys can glean something from it as the real estate expert, constantly growing your knowledge and making sure you're a leading expert in the industry, but I share this with you guys too because I know that with social media marketing, there's two really important things. One is that you guys are posting all the time. You want to stay in front of people. You want them to be aware that you're in real estate. You want to stay in front of them with relevant information. You also will want to make sure that you're changing the content that you're sharing. If you share the same old thing every single day, Facebook will eventually say snooze, like nobody cares because they didn't like it yesterday, so that we're going to hide it today. Less people will see your posts if you're posting the same thing that others are not interacting with. So diversifying your content and posting regularly are the two most important things when it comes to social media marketing. For all other advice, you'll need to see Jules and Leah. I don't know after that. But when we are talking about the diversification and posting regularly, it can be a lot sometimes to try and figure out, like, oh gosh, what's that fresh content that I could be sharing? So this is going to be something not only you guys can benefit from as the agent, but literally, if you guys need an easy button one day when you're trying to post something to social media, copy one of these links and just post it on your Facebook. Then you guys are directing new traffic to your page because people are seeing this great information. So this is always an option for you guys to share as your easy button choice. So again, that's the hot topic section. You will have to use like absolute like high definition reader glasses to find it, but it is at the very bottom of the page under agent essentials. So you'll find that information there, and I'm going to bounce us, hold on. I'm going to bounce us now back over to where we were. So that's CE Shop. I did mention that we have a partnership with Superior, and we'll talk about that one here soon. But there is an access to our Valentine floor plan. 9 times out of 10, agents look at me like, why would I ever look at that? And that's okay. You don't have to look at it, but it's there in case you ever needed to. But a little bit underneath that, you're also going to find some numbers to know. These numbers to know are things you are not being asked for every single day. It's their Wi-Fi information is there, and that's going to be probably the only thing you're using daily of that information. So if you ever need to reference our market center number, you guys are actively working a referral, you need our federal tax ID, or you guys are getting your South Carolina license and you need our firm number, you can find all information like that right in this section here. So again, these are numbers to know that you will not need to have memorized necessarily. So you can always reference that information at the bottom of our office resources tab. Again, office calendar will take us right back to where we were. Under the More tab, a lot of this stuff we have already talked about. So I'm not going to touch on everything, but you'll find some great tech resources up top here. We do have ALC meeting minutes. So if our ALC has met for the month and you guys missed that conversation, but you want to know, like, okay, did anything change? Like, what are we doing? What's the future of Valentine looking like? You guys can reference our ALC meeting minutes because we document what those meetings entail. So you guys can always find reference to it. The prayer request form is always more of a talking point for me, and it's really just to make sure you guys understand you are very sincerely considered family from the moment you guys walk in the door. So if there's ever anything going on in your world or your personal lives, please keep us privy to that as much as you feel comfortable, because we want to be here to support you guys, whether it's just asking how you're doing, checking in when we see you, giving you big hugs in the hallway, or maybe we are talking about seeing if the KW Cares donations are an option. We want to be aware of what's going on in your world so that we can be praying for you guys, so that we can be here to support you as best we can. So again, more of a talking point. You're welcome just to communicate with us directly if you feel comfortable, but if you prefer to submit a prayer request form, you may do that as well. KW Perks is insurance. So if you guys are trying to find insurance for the very first time as an independent contractor, KW Perks, Keller Williams has partnered with someone to offer you guys insurance at a better deal. So now you guys can search the marketplace. You can see what plans are available to you and your families, and you guys may be able to go ahead and confirm that insurance policy. But it's just a way for you guys to look at the marketplace of options out there for a discounted rate. So be aware that that's an option just in case you need that conversation here shortly. Scheduling conference rooms, again, that's going to be the easiest way to go about booking a conference room. But if you need to register to make the account, remember you wanted to go through the new agent button. KWB firm exclusive listings. If somebody's taking a listing that they want to be offered exclusively to KW Valentine as like first dibs, you guys can actually check this little active Google sheet where you'll be able to see all the firm exclusive listings unique to Valentine. The reason I say this, of course, is because, again, firm exclusive, it will not be an MLS. So if you guys are looking for something for your buyers and there's literally nothing matching their criteria, you guys can always come back to firm exclusive listings and see if there is something out there that fits your buyers' needs and what they're looking for that may just be offered specifically to Valentine rather than being available through MLS. Strategic vendor partners, if you are not a Facebook user or you just truly deeply forgot about that page we talked about, you guys can click strategic vendor partners. It will take you to a spreadsheet here that details all of our current vendor partners by their industry. It will explain who everybody is, who they work for, what their contact information is. So that way you guys can constantly be in contact and get some great quotes and information for your clients. So be aware that this is here. You're also going to notice there's a couple sections that we don't have a lot of vendors right now, and it's not because we truly hate fencing specialists or garage door openers. We actually do really like them and we want more of them. So if you guys have ever met with or worked with somebody, maybe somebody for your personal home or a family friend, anybody that you worked with in that industry that you think does a fantastic job that would benefit from having access to 600 different agents in this office, you guys can actually just connect them with Kyrie Smith, who oversees the vendor program, and he's actually got business cards right at the front desk. Connect them in an email with Kyrie, and if they are interested in learning more about the program, Kyrie does all the heavy lifting. He'll bring them into the office, he'll talk to them about the vendor program, give them a tour, and if they're interested, they can go ahead and pay, and then they can become part of all the action and excitement, and then they'll have you to thank for that connection. So again, if you guys have worked with a fantastic vendor that is not on this list, please let us know. We'd love to meet them. Book recommendations, Outfront Magazine. Outfront Magazine is going to be very similar to those hot topics. If you guys need an easy button, Outfront Magazine publishes a monthly installment, just like a magazine would, where it literally outlines a single post that you guys can do on social media every single day of the month. So if you need the easy button, you guys can always come back to Outfront Magazine. They are giving you suggestions on what to share. Below that is discount codes for real estate education, guys. I know, again, we talked about CE Shop. We've already looked at that one. We also partner with Superior, and that's 30% off all the time, whether it's pre-licensing, post-licensing, or CE. And you can find each of those codes here. And then not only are these codes something you may use in your own businesses to save money, but you guys can share this information with other agents you may be talking to. If you guys are working with somebody who's looking to get into real estate, share this because it's not something, I should say, they can use it, but they're not required to join KW Ballantyne because they used our discount. So if you just want to bless somebody, make their day, please share this information. You could easily make someone's jumpstart into real estate a lot easier. And then they would love, I'm sure, at that point to stay in contact with you. You guys can nurture that relationship. And then who knows, if they choose to join A. Keller Williams office, they very well might name you as their sponsor. So keep that in mind. And then the only other items, I'm going to go real quick through these. We do have a fantastic media room. It is super new, guys, and we are so excited for that to be launched and unveiled. You guys will be able to use the media room to do videos and different things like that. There's a green screen in there, there's high end microphones, really just a nice little setting so that if you guys are filming content, you have a great space to work in. And Rob Miller, our tech coordinator, he's running media room trainings. So if you're interested in learning how to use all the technology in there so you guys can make a time to go in there and film some content, click on media room training. It will show you when his training sessions are available. You guys can book time to learn all about that stuff. There's also a way for you guys to book call time with the front desk. So if you guys want to hang out with Sue and sit up there so that you get to learn the office a little bit better, get to learn the individuals in this office, and above all else, obviously take in any inbound leads that come to the firm. If you guys are interested in that, call time shifts are available, and Sue would love to get to know you guys better, show you the ropes, and really get to give you guys the opportunity to experience KW Ballantyne at the fullest. So to book a call time shift, all you have to do is click that white button there. It will take you to a Google Calendar where you guys can book a shift. These shifts are 3 hours at a time, 3 time slots in a day, and then there are weekend shifts available as well where you guys would just get all the calls directed to your cell phone for the weekend. So again, any inbound leads, guys, that would be yours to take. So keep call time in mind. The last two options that we're going to talk, or two buttons we're going to talk about, I know we've already touched base on, so I can make this one quick. If you guys ever need one-on-one marketing support at all, you guys are welcome to meet with Jules and Leah. They are happy to sit down with you guys and help come up with a marketing coaching conversation, give you some strategy suggestions. So if you guys are looking to have conversations unique to your business about marketing, again, please participate in their classes that they're offering because a lot of times they'll be teaching on similar topics. But if you guys guys want a unique conversation for you and your business outside of what their class topics are, you can actually schedule a 30-minute appointment with Jules and Leah for free. It can be in person or online. Just click that button to schedule your time slot. And then next to that is tech help. So if you guys ever need assistance with KW Command, with DocuSign, with your website, with KW specific technology, if you guys need help with it because you've got questions, difficulties, anything like that, or you just want to learn like what's the next step, again, pay attention to our Tech Tuesday calendar for great content on that. But if it's a conversation unique to your business, you can schedule 30 minutes of time with Rob Miller right there on that tech help button. And again, those are in person or online, whatever's easiest for you. And if you guys want to find our private Facebook group again, it's easily done by this little Facebook icon. And you can find us on Instagram as well, next to that on the left. So that is everything I usually go over. I know it is a lot to take in, so bear with me, guys. Everybody breathe for a second. What I would always recommend is absolutely take the time over the weekend or over the next couple weeks. Just go back on our website and kind of like explore it again. See if you can remember where the things we talked about were. If you can't, I am not offended. You can email me. You can stop by. I will show you where everything is again. I do not mind. But before I actually let you guys go about enjoying your weekends and like this obviously fantastic weather we have, do we have any questions in the room that I can answer? We feel decent, right? Like we're like overloaded with information, so you don't necessarily have questions yet, but they're coming probably. Okay, cool. Anybody online, ladies, you feel good? Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I'm
We're good.
glad. Yay. Awesome. Thank you, Emily. So I'm glad everybody feels good about the content, even though, again, I know it's a lot. But bear with me. Also, as you know now, I will post a recording of this to YouTube. You guys can rewatch what we went over. And the best thing about YouTube, y'all can slow me down. You can make me talk a lot slower, and then you can follow along a little bit better. So if I went way too fast and you just didn't want to make me feel bad, I appreciate that. You guys can always make me feel bad. It's okay. But I appreciate you guys not saying anything about it, and you'll have the opportunity to go back over this info, or you can just stop by my office and I'll absolutely help you guys out. But thank you for your time today. I know it's really hard to commit to a class on a Friday afternoon, so I appreciate y'all for being here, and I hope you have a great week and go get some leads, guys. You're
Yeah.
wel- you're welcome, ladies. Have a great one.
Bye bye.
Bye.